All right, should we move on?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
We got the thing from the CDC. CDC says flu shots may not be good match for the 2014 and 2015 virus.
What's that?
What do you mean, what's what?
What's the 2014 and 2015 virus?
Well, you know how they always try to... There's thousands of strains of the flu.
Uh-huh.
And they always try to predict. And, you know, the vaccine will typically have, 15 to 30 or something strains in it?
It'll usually have 30 to 40%.
Of what?
Of...
Oh, so it's in the hundreds then.
The strains, yeah.
Okay. So that's been the main criticism of the flu shot is like, okay, if it really was going to work, like how are you going to supposedly vaccinate against all whatever there are? How many thousand flu
thousands?
Flu
I couldn't find an actual number.
I never had a flu shot. I never had the
categories.
flu.
So finally, the CDC says flu shots may not be a good match for the 2014 and 15 virus. So they're coming out and saying themselves, well, we didn't get it right. But is that going to stop any of the fucking Walmarts, Walgreens, Jewel Oscos from running their fucking, whoever, from advertising flu shots constantly?
No, they're doing it right now. I just drove past fucking
every
Walgreens.
fucking window you drive past, people with sandwich boards. Come get your flu shot. And here they are, the CDC.
Buy one, get one free.
themselves.
They got buy one, get one free now.
When I was sick for like 6-7 weeks, the second time I went back to the doctor, the first thing he asked me was if I had gotten a flu shot this year. And I said no, and he was immediately like, well, it's probably some kind of flu that got you sick for 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have to, I really don't understand the idea. Like, if you're a healthy person and you eat well and you take vitamins and you exercise, like, what are you so afraid of? Like a little flu, you're gonna be sick for a day and you're gonna get over it. Yeah. And what is the fucking big scare here? Why? That's what makes me suspicious. And I know it's like the jury still seems to be out, and every 6 months or a year, you seem like you seem to find some supposedly conclusive evidence one way or the other. Okay, there's no link to autism. There's no link to mercury in vaccines. There's no link to this, and then there is again, and then it's like, I don't know. What makes me suspicious is when I see mass medication efforts that don't seem to really have a ton of benefit. It's like, what is the fucking the motivation for doing this?
Yeah.
That whole mercury thing turned out to be true.
Oh yeah.
The guy who's in charge of covering up the information came out and said it. At the CDC.
What was this guy? Do you know anything more about him?
At the FDA, he was. This was like a month ago. I can't believe I forgot about it. He said, yeah, it was his job. He had a team, and they would fucking figure out ways to cover up that they caused autism.
Who? What is this guy? What was his
He was
job?
like an FDA guy or a CDC guy. It was fucking oh god. But it was a pretty big story. I just don't remember because I'm an idiot.
Are you finding this guy?
I'm looking for it.
Okay. So I mean, what do you like? I think recently the idea that it causes autism has lost a lot of steam. I think there was another study that came out that pretty much said there's no fucking correlation, right?
Well, there was a study that came out that proved basically
or just vaccines in general.
Yeah, but the pro-autism argument had said that there was a correlation of information, but just because information correlates with each other doesn't necessarily make it have a relationship.
Sure.
So there was a couple more studies done that kind of correlated other information that suggested that the autism and the vaccines aren't actually linked to each other. They just have correlating information.
Okay.
So no one has proven beyond a doubt
now,
in either direction.
Here's my other thought about vaccines is if there's no ulterior motive, why are people being forced all over the country over and over, like a lot of school systems, corporations, forcing people to take vaccines? And, it's a very basic idea, but supposedly, okay, if you don't take the vaccine, now you're making it you're a danger to everyone else. But if everyone else had the vaccine and you say that it works, then why do you care if one person lets themselves get sick? You can't fucking get it, right? You've been vaccinated. Is that flawed thinking on my part?
Kind of, yes.
Why?
Dr. Thompson was that dude's name. If you can find something about him, because this article's kind of skay.
It is possible. Kids who have compromised immune systems,
Even when they've been vaccinated?
even if they've been vaccinated, it doesn't always work.
Okay.
And also, the more times
Okay, here I got. Oh,
that
sorry. Go ahead.
the more opportunities a virus has to spread, the more opportunities it has to mutate. So over time, through evolution, the more and more you contract these vaccinatable diseases, they can end up mutating, and then the vaccination won't work anymore because that's not how a vaccination works. If a strain mutates too far away from the original, your body can't protect against it, and that's where you get like super viruses, super bacterias, things that we can't control with current known medication.
Supposedly.
So yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So, what is your take then on So I mean, obviously, all right. So there's been a lot of good vaccinations. Polio is an example of something that will just needed to be stopped in a mass fucking way. You know, and it had to be
smallpox
dealt with. Smallpox, sure. A lot of history to like great applications of vaccination. We just don't trust the companies that produce them at this point, I would say, is the best way to put it, right? I mean, how do you feel? You don't get any vaccinations.
Fuck no.
None of us do. Do you?
No. I had a job a few years ago that tried to force me to get a new tetanus shot, and I just refused to do it.
You know, it's just
That's a state law in Illinois. If you work around animals, you have to have a tetanus shot.
Why do you have to have a tetanus shot?
Because it's the law. I've never heard of anybody contracting tetanus like from an animal bite. They don't carry tetanus.
Rabies, right?
Well, if they have rabies,
There's no rabies vaccination though.
Yeah, there is. No,
is there?
I think so.
Oh wait,
yeah,
there is.
There is. There absolutely
extremely
is.
common.
Yeah. Like everything has a rabies vaccination.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's no rabies vaccine. I said that really.
You can't protect yourself against that.
I said that really confidently too. But so none of us get vaccine, and at a certain level, it seems like it's paranoia, to a certain degree, and that's driven by the media, and then some of it's just as simple as like, hey, we want to sell drugs, we want to sell vaccinations. We have a lot of things that are a lot of vaccinations. One of the main accusations is there's things in them that are fucking byproducts and leftovers from the production of other drugs that, hey, this costs us money to produce. It's sitting here. We have nothing to do with it. Can we jam it in a vaccination at a certain legal percentage of the fucking content of the thing and get rid of this stuff, and sell it by volume still. So that's, that's part of the drug industry, just pumping you full of shit you don't need with that one little thing that you do need, tucked away in the corner. And that it might be as simple as that. I don't know. I just don't trust mass medication. Why do we not? Why do we try not to drink fluoridated water? Because it's just fishy.
When I was in school, when I was a kid, they would line us all up, so they would all line us and give us all shots. You know what I mean? It wasn't something you did outside of school. It was something that happened in school.
That's true. We did. Yeah.
You would line up, and I thought it was the creepiest fucking thing ever.
I remember getting shots in like first grade too. Yeah. What the hell was that?
They'd sign, and then you go for like your lice test and all that. It was fucking creepy, dude. They'd line you up and give you shots. 90% of the kids would cry their fucking ass off, and you're just like, I'm next. But I got one when I was younger, I guess.
I always went to a doctor to get a shot. They must have stopped doing that by the time I got into school.
Well, I was in school with it was like 90% Hispanic, and they'll do anything to be here. So I mean, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
You can shoot them full of anything.
You can shoot them as long as they can live here and just do whatever and cook and
get their shots. Who cares?
How Hispanic are you?
Like
10%?
15.
15%?
Yeah. I think.
Well,
20. I don't fucking know.
You're not getting
25?
sent anywhere. So, righty. That's the flu shot shitty shit.